Hi guys, this is Gisell Munoz and thank you so much for jumping in this video today. And I have today Adrian Butcher, who is an addiction and recovery coach who specializes in addiction like cannabis, weed, marijuana, I don't know what is the pronunciation in English, so marijuana, and emotions like a drama, victimization, etc. He empowers and guides men and women to take back control of their lives by overcoming their addiction and create and live a life that they know they are worthy of living. Welcome, Adrian. I really appreciate you are here today.
Hey Giselle, thank you for having me. I'm really looking forward to it, and yeah, so stoked to be here. Thank you.
Amazing. So, why did you choose to become an addiction and recovery coach?
Well, it started on my own personal journey from my own addictions and wanting to a better life for myself, become a better person, and wanting to live a better life. And basically, it took me to the age of 38 to realize that I hadn't been living the life that I dreamed of and wanted to. And I wanted my desire was to see other people live that life and become who they wanted to be. And not necessarily take as long as what I did to start living that life. And so for me, I was very passionate about that. I also realized people with addiction were doing a lot of harm to themselves, and not only to themselves, but a lot of people around them, loved ones, people they cared about, and people that cared about them. And so for me, it was about if I could help people start to live a life early that they wanted and a life they dreamed about and become the person they wanted to become, then maybe there wouldn't be so much harm in the world, to themselves, to people around them, limit crime, limit, you know, take the pressure off our health system, limit, financial stress. Wouldn't have to pay so many taxes. So for the greater good of themselves and everyone around them, it would be very beneficial. I was just very passionate, and it all stemmed from my own journey, overcoming addiction and becoming a
Mm.
better person, and live a life that I really wanted to live and I was passionate about.
So, I don't know if this is inappropriate or if you want to answer this, but what were your addictions?
My addictions it started with marijuana.
Mm.
Uh, that come from filling a void in myself where my identity was attached to being a soccer player in like nearly professional level.
Mm.
Couldn't play that anymore through injury. There was a big void, so I wanted to fill that void, and marijuana was it. Um, then I had addictions to amphetamines, um, and then through that I had addictions to cigarettes. Not so much alcohol, and then also emotions too, like the roles I played, identities I attached to, because I wasn't playing soccer anymore. So I had a lot of addictions. The biggest addiction I had was marijuana.
Mm.
So after I sort of gave up amphetamines, and I started this journey of becoming a better person inside, because I realized that I wasn't, for me, it wasn't about a quick fix. It wasn't about taking a pill or taking a drug. It was about building self-esteem and self-worth from the inside out was the journey. So I went on this journey, found my purpose of becoming a life coach, personal development coach,
Mm.
and that's where it stemmed from. And going on this journey, I realized I could help so many more people with that. So,
What was it?
yeah,
Out of curiosity, when was the moment when you decide to stop your addictions? What did happen in that moment when you decide, no, this is not the life I want to live and I want to move on? And like, when was the moment? And what did you
so
do after?
with the amphetamines, it was basically I was 38 years of age, and it's like I was going out a lot, and I realised that I can't live this life forever. There was a sort of
Mm.
environment where that fitted into, and that was partying, going out. And I'm like, well, I can't live this life forever. There's got to be more substance to life. And then I started looking at what I really wanted. And I thought time was running out. And I'm like, wow, if I don't do something about this now, it's going to be too late. So that was the moment I'm like, I realized that I actually deserved a better life than I was living now. So I gave up the amphetamines. I still smoke marijuana. And I remember the day the day I probably decided I'd give up marijuana. Because the one thing I really wanted in all my life is to fall in love and have someone that loved me for who I was. I knew I mattered. There was just this, I always craved that. And I didn't find it until 38, and I was still smoking marijuana at the time. Then my partner passed away of cancer, and so I moved up to Townsville. And I was like, been in this unit for 3 weeks, and I was just swimming in the pool, and I went down to have a swim in the pool, and there was 2 ladies in the pool, and I got talking, and I was just straight away attracted to one lady, and there was just something about it. It was like, and subconsciously, I think that was the time, because as weeks went on and we got to know one another and formed a relationship, I realized I couldn't have a relationship if I kept smoking. So I had a big reason why, and she was it. The thing I'd always wanted in my life and craved, that was there, and I connected to that each day. And it's like, right, I'm choosing that and not marijuana. So, and that was the time that I gave up marijuana, and I just chose.
That's it. Like you give up marijuana and the other addictions, and then you move on, and then you found coaching.
Yeah. So then what happened was the relationship broke up, and it was like, so my big reason why is gone. So what am I going to do now? And I wanted to find out my meaning and purpose in life. Like, I was doing construction, and I wanted to do a job where it was fulfilling, it was satisfying, and there was a future involved. And I worked out that I always help people during my life. So I wanted to do a profession where I help people, and I chose life coaching. That became my meaning and purpose. And from that, it led to me sustaining my sobriety, because I had meaning and purpose. And it's one of the biggest things with my clients I teach, is to have meaning and purpose in life is essential for it. And so my big reason why I still stood there, the vehicle had left through the lady, but what I wanted internally, which was the love and, knowing that I mattered and I was enough and worthy, was still there. I wanted that. So the big reason why I still was there, I found meaning and purpose. And I just started creating a life of sobriety, a life where marijuana addiction just didn't fit in anymore. And that cigarettes didn't fit into that either, because I was smoking cigarettes then too. So, yeah.
That is so good. So good that you move on, and as well you are helping people to overcome their addictions too.
Yeah, thank you.
So good. So can you give us an example of clients? Like which kind of clients are you working with?
I'm working with clients with emotional addictions to emotions. Because with emotions, it's, say if it's drama or stress, they produce chemicals. Like, there's a big rabbit hole we could go down. I'll just give you a general explanation of it. When we're stressed and drama, they produce chemicals in our bodies that give us a rush. They give us a sense of feeling alive. Like, they also give us a sense of who we are, our identity. Because there's one thing in life that we as people, we want, is to know that we belong. And all belonging is to really know who we are, to be accepted for who we are. So this identity that we're attached to is a rush. It's chemicals, and it's like, if we're not that, who the fuck are we then?
Mm.
we've got to really know who we are. So we get addicted to the emotions because they give us a sense of who we are. However, this sense of who we are is conditioned from an early age, and that's another big rabbit hole that I go down to. So that's one type of clients with cocaine addictions,
Mm.
marijuana addictions, cigarettes, alcohol addictions, um, like you mentioned before, drama. So all sorts of addictions across the board. So yeah.
So you, like, what I can see is like you have clients working with internal addictions, which each drama or victimization, and the other is the external, which is cocaine, marijuana, and alcoholism, and as well the cigarette. So that is really, really, really good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, and why is it important to overcome the addiction and create a new life?
Well, it depends on the person. Sometimes
Mm.
it isn't important for the person to give up their addiction, and that's okay.
Mm.
Like for them, um, they mightn't be hurting anyone else. And not all the time, like the addiction is hurting other people. Not all the time in someone's mind it's hurting them either. So I don't put judgment on that. Like it's you live the life you want to live. It's up to you.
Mm. Mm.
And from my experience, you're not really going to give up an addiction unless you really want to do it. So I help a person or guide a person and we'll explore reasons and if they really want to do it, if there's a life worth giving that up for.
Mm.
And in saying that, it's not giving it up to create a life, it's creating a life first where that doesn't fit in. That's what sobriety is. That's
Mm.
why I'm friend to like a lot of rehab centers and things and the general systems that are out there is it's like, let's give it up and create a life. I'm like, let's start to create a life where you realize that the life you're creating is better than the life of addiction. And then that makes you want to give that up. And I help, do that. One of the reasons, and getting back to one of the other questions I decided is I saw a gap in the systems.
Mm.
Like 85% of people that do addiction recovery and rehab and that fall back into their addictions again. 2/3 of people that are actually in treatment will not finish treatment. And I wanted to know why that was. And what I found out is it's the internal journey of building self-esteem through being lovable, worthy, and enough.
Mm.
Creating a life of meaning and purpose.
Mm.
Where that life is so like passionate and invokes so many emotions where the addiction doesn't fall back in. So it's not good enough just stopping it. There's got to be something there to sustain it. So there could be a reason why, I'm hurting myself and other people and I'll stop it. But that's not good enough. Like myself, I had to create a life of meaning and purpose and fulfillment where that didn't fit into that anymore. And I saw a big gap in the system for that. So that was one reason. Another reason is people want relatability. People want to be with someone that's actually experienced it. And that was me anyway. I don't want advice from anyone that really hasn't experienced what I'm going through. And because what I realized with addiction is shame is the biggest trigger of addiction. And it comes through judgment. So people to start with, they need to have someone show them a bit of compassion so they have compassion for themselves. So we get rid of the shame and the judgment.
Mm. Mm.
And the best person that can actually show them and lead them the way is someone that's been there because they're straight away not going to feel judgment.
Mm.
So like I'm one of the perfect people to do that. I have to be vulnerable myself and that's why I'm vulnerable with you. If
Yeah.
they see me being vulnerable, they can be vulnerable. And so I'm like, yeah, there's a gap in the system, and I believe that, I'm in a really great position to help people and fill that gap in the system.
That's really good. That's really good because it's one day in a networking event, I met a woman and she told me she was an alcoholic first, and she gave up the alcohol, but she pivoted to chocolate, and she was eating more chocolate. So now I can see, I can understand what you are saying. Is first creating the life you want to live, and then you let go the addiction, or I don't know what is the coaching you do on one-on-one. You work with one-on-one clients, like a
Yeah,
private. Yeah,
yeah. Work on one clients. I have a marijuana 5-day marijuana free program launching in about 2 weeks for 5 days.
amazing.
Where people with marijuana addictions can come and join a Facebook group, and yeah, I run a 5-day program, and it's just an intro on what do I do, just so they can reduce their intake and start getting a taste of that life, what it's like.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because people think it's pivot the addictions. It's like from the alcohol to chocolate, and then what? Fat, and what you are doing is totally different because it's creating the life, and from there you are moving away from the addictions. And as well, now you mentioned you have the free program coming up soon. That is amazing. So everybody who wants to take it, I'm going to write the description below in the video so you can jump on in that. So where, if any man or woman who is watching today this video, where they can find you?
At the moment, just on my business Facebook page and my personal Facebook page, LinkedIn. So my business Facebook page is just Adrian Butcher Coaching. You can type that down. They can search it on Facebook. Um, and then my personal page, like I just post a lot of like free content and give insights and wisdom on that. I just provide value on that also. So there, LinkedIn at the moment, looking to branch out into Instagram and YouTube and things like that also. They're the areas at the moment. So for
Yeah.
now,
All good, all
and
good.
and if you want to have even, and then you can just like send me a private message, say I saw the video, and we can organise to have a chat one-on-one, like a free discovery session, and have a chat about things.
That's really good. And you were mentioning about Facebook group.
Yeah, so I haven't created it yet. It'll be in the next couple of days. So if they want to just go to my personal page or business page and drop in a question, like listen, saw the video interview with you and Giselle, like interested in your program, and I'll get you hooked up into the group from there, and we'll start
Okay,
from
great.
there.
Great. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'm going to put everything in the description below where you can connect with Adrian. Thank you so much, Adrian, for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Giselle. Thank you for everyone that's watching. It's been a pleasure to be here. I hope everyone got value, and yeah, you have a really awesome day, and awesome day to everyone watching too.
Great. Thank you, guys. Bye. Bye, Adrian.
Bye.